Welcome back to another episode of the We Grow Together podcast. I'm your host, Laura DiFrancesco. I am a serial entrepreneur with more than 5 businesses myself and a whole lot of personal pursuits that I absolutely love. Today, we are talking all about the philosophy of building confidence in your work and life. And for me, I feel like while I have a lot of natural confidence, it is something that I'm constantly building, just like a muscle, just like you build everything. So I'm excited to share with you something really, really exciting. I'm publishing my first book, which is Entrepreneurship Through Acquisition, a legal guide to buying a small business. All of the information is in the show notes. If you're into entrepreneurship through acquisition, if you're into scaling and growing your business through acquisition, or you want to pursue entrepreneurship through a different avenue than startup, it's a great book explaining that. And I feel like that's a really good experience to explain how I'm building confidence in something totally new. So as an entrepreneur, I've been building confidence over the last 10 years, doing little actions here and there that create confidence within myself and make me feel like I am well educated, making good decisions for myself. But there's always, when you have a new venture, like publishing a book, how you build confidence in that. So with that said, let's talk a little bit about what self-belief means and how self-belief is so important to anything that you do. So my greatest philosophy in life is that I will always believe in myself. And the most important reason for that is when you go out in the world, there's so much that's going to be working against you, both in terms of marketplace and interest and attention span and how much people care and how much people worry for you. There's so many things that will doubt you, that will challenge you. Why create friction for yourself and your beliefs? Why create more work for yourself to overcome than start from a place of confidence? And I know that can be really hard in practice to let go of, but when you become a student of yourself, when you listen to yourself and listen to that inner monologue and what it's critiquing and what it's saying, be very cautious of where you're thinking of risks and how to navigate those versus doubting yourself and not having confidence. There's a very different thing between evaluating and understanding and mitigating risks in your life versus doubting yourself and not believing in yourself. I believe with every core of my being that come hell or high water, if I wanted to do any single thing in my life, I could. If I wanted to go to Mars, I could. If I wanted to be an astronaut, I could. If I wanted to build the greatest Disneyland that Disneyland has ever imagined to be, I could. I have every confidence that there's anything that I pursue. If I wanted to be an Olympian, I could. There's no reason for me to doubt myself. I have the most insane self-belief. So if you take anything from this podcast episode, I hope it is that there is no reason for you to be the person that doubts yourself. You will encounter plenty of challenges and hardships along the way. Be the person who fills yourself with confidence from the beginning. Now, that's easier said than done, as I said. And I think that partially the reason why I am so steadfast in my confidence and belief in myself is that I have excelled at the ability to develop confidence in myself. I know what it takes, I know how to do it, and I'm excited to share that with you in today's episode. So, what are a couple of things that building confidence and self-belief takes? For me, it's an action just like any other, just like building a muscle, just like building a business. It is one action that takes a ripple effect, domino effect on everything else. And you have to understand how much building confidence in one area of your life carries through to the rest of your life. So if you're really nervous in a certain area, don't focus so much on that area. Yes, take steps, take actions, do what you need to move forward and progress and build your confidence in that area, but don't just do that. Couple it with building confidence in an area where you feel good, where it feels more like play, where it feels like there's less at stake. All of the things that you do in one area of your life intrinsically translate to the others. Your ability as a human being to survive is so much drawn through the intrinsic, subconscious beliefs and workings that you're not even paying attention to. So a lot of different species. I love studying species. I love studying behavior. Obviously, I'm a horse enthusiast. I have a lot of animals. So for me, I'm constantly learning about how they process things, how they learn. And so one of the things that humans learn differently is that we can associate cause and effect, and we can make determinations and decisions, and we can decide things and do things. Whereas animals, most animals, not all of them, I think, chimps and dolphins or something like that, have more of like a correlation type of learning, where it's a lot harder for them to become a decision maker versus understanding like correlations. When you're trying to teach something, it may require teaching them in a lot of different scenarios so that they can understand how to apply an idea across multiple different situations. There's a huge difference in learning between people and animals, is ultimately what I'm saying. And what you have going for you and what your greatest strength in building confidence is your ability to cross-pollinate ideas subconsciously without even thinking about it. So when you endeavor to build confidence, do it in areas of play and do it in areas that aren't as serious and don't feel like there's as much to lose. And that will pollinate other areas of your life where that confidence is more meaningful and more important. And so when you use those opportunities for play, like for me, I build confidence in trying new things all the time. I have no reason to not believe that I can't make a wedding gown, which I am right now, or make an evening gown, which I've done before. And people are like, oh, you must have gone to school for this, or you must know how to sew. I have no idea how to sew. I have no idea how to use a sewing machine, but I can Google anything that I need to. I can ask for help when I need to, and I will, hell or high water, figure out a way that it will happen. And worst case scenario, it's not that big a deal. I have done plenty in my life that has higher stakes. I've tumbled and thrown myself around and everything, which I used to do right before the accident, like back tuck, back handsprings. Same with other things that I've done previously, like snowboarding and wakeboarding and all things that can result in serious injury, including collaborating with 1,200-pound animals that listen to what you ask them to do by a mere feeling. It's insane. So I've done plenty that's also high stakes in building confidence, and all of that has directly translated to my businesses, to writing a book, to publishing, to not knowing what I'm doing and yet having incredible confidence in doing it. So much so that I inspired one of my friends to self-publish as well, Derek Pugh, who was contemplating whether to go with a publisher or self-publisher. Hopefully we'll have him on the podcast soon, but he has his book that he published, All Manifesting Reality, that is absolutely fantastic and was part of our book club episode a while back that I highly encourage you check out. So one of the things is not to delay in taking action, and take every action that you can think of. That is that stepping stone of building that confidence, is just taking action and not being afraid of failure. And I always take the easy actions. I always take the actions with the most return on investment, the least cost, those that won't risk as much. Take the things that feel good and you will build your confidence. And then the other part is really overcoming the fact that it's going to be uncomfortable. It's okay. Life wasn't meant to be comfortable. I love my mentor Gay Hendricks' philosophy that I live in an easy world where everything is easy, and I fully believe that. At the same time, I'm okay with things being challenging. I'm okay when things don't go my way. So I don't get fixated on being comfortable in life. I don't get fixated on having to know the next thing to do, having to know whether I'm going to succeed or not. I don't know whether any of my ideas are going to succeed on any given day. That doesn't dissuade me from taking the next step forward. It just means that I'm gathering information along the way to continue to make better informed decisions throughout my progress. And that's creating that path that's leading you forward. And through every decision that you make, the micro decisions, the easy decisions, the places where you know you're going to win, then that gives you fuel for the harder decisions where you know you might lose. And then my other philosophy too is that there is no such thing as losing. Like, even when I'm dead, I'm not going to have lost. Even if I decide something is for me, there is no losing. There's only education and decisions and pivoting and writing my story. You can't say that you lost in the middle of the story when I'm still writing my story. And even when I'm dead, I'm pretty sure that what I've written is going to be a hell of a story. So there is no losing in any decision that I make. It may have consequences. They may not be pretty. They may not be enjoyable. They may be hard as hell to get through and navigate if I didn't make the right decision. But I don't get this fixation with losing. And to me, it just doesn't feel like even a thing that exists in the world, if that makes sense. Like, I have had this super interesting conversation with my dad where I said, we were talking about something about being competitive. And I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, I've never felt competitive in my life. And he's like, you haven't? He's like, you triple majored in 3 years. You did 3 sports a season. You focus on always perfecting yourself and you don't feel like you're competitive. And I was like, I guess I've never thought about it that way. It doesn't feel competitive to me because I never feel like I'm winning and I never feel like I'm losing. I just feel like I'm doing what I'm doing. It doesn't feel like my pursuit of excellence within myself and my businesses and what I do isn't to win. It's not to beat anyone. Like, even when I was at the height of my cheerleading, going to nationals and we got 7th, like, I didn't begrudge that we got 7th. I didn't care if we'd gotten 1st. I mean, I was going there to be the best that I could be. I certainly would have loved to win, but I was not going there to be number 1 and not be number 2. I couldn't have cared less when we quote unquote lost. That's just not my personality. And so I think when you're talking about building that confidence in yourself, when you let go of all these preconceived notions about winning and losing and how things have to be and so definite in all of it, if you could just let go of all that stress, I think you'd be a lot more confident in anything you pursue, because there is no right way to do anything. There is no wrong way to do anything. There is no major consequence. I mean, even the bad stuff, even when you really mess up. I mean, I've lost $200,000 in Flourish. Like, that's pretty significant. I mean, it is what it is. It was our investment cost that we still haven't gotten, recouped or anything like that. But like, hell, does it mean that much? It just really doesn't feel like it does. Like, yeah, it doesn't feel good. Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, it was emotional that I had to get over that. But I mean, that's not losing to me. And I think most people would qualify that as losing. But to me, that's not really losing. It was getting through life and getting through businesses and going through the ups and downs that there are and taking it on to the next day. So if you feel like an imposter, if you feel like you can't get forward momentum in something because you're so stuck in your head, I just challenge you to get your tushy moving. Do something, say something, be something. Just take all of that resistance and dissipate it, whether you need to do it in a quick meditation or whatever you need to do to get started. You have to make educated decisions, but you should always be moving forward. And it may take as long as it takes. It may take as long as you need. I mean, for me, building my first business took years. I was in law school creating my dream company, outlines of who I wanted to hire and their job descriptions and pro formas and financials and all this kind of stuff. Like, I've been working on it for a long time. So you're not taking action, even if it's taking longer than you expected, but you do have to have forward momentum as you balance it in life. And as we say in lifestyle design, decide what time is for what season. But those are all important to build this confidence. The number one question I'm asked is, how do I do all the things I do? So I put this into a course, a workbook, and a workshop where you can find all the little details about how I do this on a daily basis. And I've called it the Wild Ambition Lifestyle Design Course, Workbook, and Workshop. Transform your dreams into reality with guided vision setting, storyboarding, journaling, and all the tools I use to bring my dreams to life, with over 100 lessons, 200 plus pages of workbooks, and lifetime access so you can return to it whenever you need to. The course itself is that iterative process of how we continue to evolve over time to be the best version of ourselves. If you are an ambitious individual, if you want to make your dreams come true, I think you'll really love Wild Ambition, and I encourage you to check it out in the show notes. Start your journey today. Enroll now to dream and live with wild ambition. And then on a daily microscopic level, you should be thinking about confidence and how you can build confidence in yourself. I've heard a lot of rhetoric around having to make promises to yourself and never breaking those promises to yourself. And that's how you build confidence. And that's never really resonated with me. For me, I build confidence in the ways that I've shared with you, but I don't have any judgment of myself when I don't make a promise that I made to myself, because I know that I'm balancing an incredible amount in life and business and all of my endeavors. So I don't take it seriously, and I don't have any guilt if I miss a day at the gym. Right now I'm in rehab for my injuries, but generally, that's not something that I would take seriously. That's not something that I would have guilt over. You want to be the best person that you can be for yourself and give yourself as much support as you can. But I would so much rather shoot for the moon and have 20 things on my to-do list and get done 5 than have 2 things on my to-do list and get done 2. For me, that's just a philosophy. But I do believe that there are a lot of daily habits that can influence your confidence. Number 1, being self-talk, how you talk to yourself, being a student of yourself, listening to yourself, and being a guide and mentor to yourself, where you're not judging yourself for negative self-talk. You're not beating yourself up. You're just saying, caught that, redirecting it. Caught that, redirecting it. There is no need to have shame or guilt or anything like that. And then you could also track your wins. I think this really helps me. For instance, I've told you guys multiple times, when I have my agenda, I like to put little hearts next to my favorite moments. They also tend to go next to things that I've accomplished or things that I'm proud of or something like that. So celebrate your wins, track your wins, find your wins. This is the same thing that I do when I know that I compare so much to working with horses, but it's so true. So when I'm working with horses, I am looking for every single win. I'm looking to reward them for every single win, because that produces good association and learning more quickly. And I want them to feel good about their learning and feel good about their progress, so that it inspires them to continue doing more. Train yourself, give yourself positive reinforcement, find every win you can. And it doesn't have to be buying yourself a day at the spa. It can be something small, but give yourself wins as much as you can. Track them, find them, celebrate them. And then be comfortable outside of your comfort zone. So push yourself to be outside of your comfort zone in a way that's play and fun and exciting and enjoyable, and get your heart rate going a little bit in a way that's fun and that you enjoy. And then beyond that, I think it's really helpful to both have a routine and disrupt a routine. I think a routine can help you build confidence if your routine includes things that will help you build confidence, that will help you take action, both in a fun way and in a way that's serious, that's pursuing your dreams. And then I think you constantly need to disrupt that routine and change and evolve and grow. You can't stay the same. They've got to evolve as you evolve. So both having a routine and breaking a routine. And then if you're doubting yourself, you can decide. I'm going to doubt myself for 5 minutes. I'm going to doubt myself for 10 minutes. I'm going to doubt myself for 2 weeks. I'm going to doubt myself for 2 months, or I'm going to doubt myself for years. You get to be this person to decide. Sometimes you just need to be like, I'm wallowing in my willows, and let me wallow in my willows. I'm the Grinch, and 4 o'clock, self pity, It's okay to go through the feelings, feel the feelings, but then you got to decide, do I need for this to last me an hour or 2 hours or 2 weeks? Or can I move on from this? Sometimes arguments with your partner can be just the same. Just, you can decide whether you've had enough of arguing and you just want to move on, or if you need to still argue. At some point, you just got to decide who you're going to be and who you want to be moving forward. And I always want to be the best version of myself. And oftentimes, the more that I can minimize times in those cycles, the better self that I can be and the more happy that I am overall. And then overall, write down what you're grateful for, write down what you're proud of. Like I said, track your success, and then choose one thing that you're going to do right now, today, tomorrow, this week. What's the next thing that you're going to do to move forward? And then journal it, track it, write it down, have a plan, have a strategic plan, have a quarterly plan, a seasonal plan, an annual plan, whatever you want to do, but start writing it down, start moving your feet. Those are some of my main things that I think about when I'm thinking about building confidence. As I said before, this has been something that's been innate in me that I have done from the beginning of time. But I truly believe that my time growing up on a farm, carrying around bales of hay as big as I was when I was 8 years old, like farming, doing equipment, climbing trees, and scraping my way down them, and taking care of animals and learning how to be self-sufficient. Like, all of those little things are things that I deeply want to impart on my children, because to me, it's a way of building confidence and self-sufficiency that I think is invaluable in adult life. And if you didn't have a situation where you were building that level of self-confidence early on that you have grown into, there is no time like the present to start. I hope this episode was helpful. If you're interested, be sure to pre-order and get on the wait list for my new book, Entrepreneurship Through Acquisition, a legal guide to buying a small business. It will be linked in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I hope you will leave us a 5-star review, leave us a comment. What would you like to hear more of? And be sure to share us on social media and tag us at Laura M. DiFrancesco at Flourish Westchester. Thank you so much. Cheers. We grow together.